Welcome to the soap that is my life.
Are you sitting comfortably? I'm gonna tell you about a theory that I came up with this week when I was connecting the dots in my head. First of all, I'm gonna tell you 3 aspects of the theory, how I came to it. The first I did tell you about already in the Sunday vlog, but it's relevant to this video and to this theory, so I'm gonna say it again. When I was doing the international chat, and you have to understand, I had some stuff in my head about tribes, about native tribes, about people who live in communion or in harmony rather with the earth. And I did have a feeling myself that when I awoke to the Mandela effect, that it wasn't the time that the Mandela effect was taking place in my life, that it took place a lot earlier, but you know, that I wasn't aware of it, that something just pulled me in, that I was living the day life, you know, constitution. I was having the work, eat, sleep rhythm, and everything just the details just blurred. And then in the international chat there was this woman, Lindsay, who is actually a descendant of one of the native tribes of America. She told me that in her oral history there was talk of changes and talk of what she believes is exactly this, what is going on right now. The Mandela effect, which we call the Mandela effect. And I kinda had an epiphany, and I sorta blurred out my thoughts, and I said, what if this is happening from the beginning of time? And I saw in the little screen that Lindsay actually was kind of waving and nodding and saying, that's exactly what I mean. Another aspect which brought me to this theory is quarks. In the quantum physics, I heard 2 theories these past two or 3 weeks, that everything is energy, and that quarks, basically, if you go to the essence of it, that they are just energy, and that energy can tap into alternate realities. And the second thing I learned was that quarks, it was somebody who made a comment that he went to his professor, and he asked his professor quarks, or his professor had actually told that quarks, and I don't know if this is a theory or that quantum physics already takes it as a fact, but that quarks are actually going forward and backwards in time at the same time. So they're actually going forward and backwards in time. And then he posed the question to his professor, but that could mean that the explanation of every paranormal phenomena that's out there. And the professor kinda put his brow up, probably frowned a bit, and said, yes. Now I would have liked to be there to see, to know exactly how he said the yes, you know, because a lot of his in the pronunciation and the way you say it, if he was really believing it, or if he was thinking, well, what's this nut doing in front of me? But anyway. And the third aspect of this is another science aspect, and I have a little help on my computer here. There's a little detail that I want to tell you. You're gonna immediately know why. In 1927, which is actually the birth year of my father, he's not amongst us anymore. There was a Belgian, yes, one of my country, Catholic priest. I thought they were supposed to believe in God, and I know that God made everything, but okay. And his name was George Lemaitre, and he came up, or he proposed, an expanding model for the universe. because to actually explain the redshift, the Doppler effect redshift in the universe. Now that gave rise to a theory that's used, that in these days and ages is called the Big Bang theory. And I'm not talking about any TV series, okay? Now the Big Bang theory is, the name is actually chosen wrongly, because it wasn't a Big Bang, it wasn't an explosion. It was actually, there was nothing and suddenly there was a universe within a singularity that started expanding at infinitesimal speeds. And that ultimately gave rise to the universe. Now there is one very big problem with this. You know, there are some indications like the Doppler effect. I'm not gonna explain it in detail, but when you're standing beside a train track and you hear a train come on, the sound changes when it passes you. It's called a Doppler effect, and it's in color. You can see it in color too, when the universe is expanding. But there is also some background radiation that scientists put up as proof. Now there is one big problem with this. All the mathematical models and all the things that scientists say about this theory suggest that there should have been an equal amount of matter and antimatter when this expansion occurred, and they should have annihilated each other in the end, so we wouldn't have existed. Now here's my theory. What if, because there was apparently an imbalance which gave rise to the matter and the matter world we are experiencing now, whether it's an illusion because everything is energy basis, or whether particles do exist, that doesn't matter. But there was a kind of imbalance. So, and scientists have been breaking their heads over a theory behind that. Now, this is my theory. What if the imbalance between the matter and the antimatter, which gave rise to this universe, which is actually the very basis of our existence, was the very first Mandela effect that ever occurred? Yes, I kept this pause in here to, you know, to have it sink in a bit, for you to process it. We have been talking lately all about vibrations, how we vibrate in another reality, or how maybe we vibrate along with the Schumann frequency that is going up, and how we may be ascending. We have been basically talking about the end game, or a phase, transitions into another phase, into another plane of existence. And I took it back to the beginning. What if the Mandela effect isn't just gonna make us ascend? What if it is the very reason we exist? It's a question. It is a theory, a hypothesis. The question begs an answer. The theory begs feedback, and YouTube has this wonderful thing called the comment box, where you can put your take on this and kind of talk to me about it. What do you think about this theory? I hope you like this video. If you want to see more Mandela affected stuff and other stuff, because I do some personal stuff too, you can always subscribe if you haven't already. And I really hope you were sitting comfortably. Bye.